Good evening. Hi, Ellen. Happy Friday. Thank you for joining me. Hope everyone is having a great day. If you are here, give me a like or a love or say hello. Hi, Corinne. Thank you for sharing. Hi, Mom. All right, I'm getting back in the swing of things here. Hi, Bernice. We've been gone for a few Fridays now, but we are back. And so I'm very happy to be with you for Friday Facebook Live. Although we are mixing it up a little bit this evening. Hi, Ann. I think I saw you. Yep, there you are. Hope your hand is feeling all right. Corinne, it was very hot here today, too. All right, so getting back in the swing of things, before I jump into Christmas in July, I have my housekeeping stuff that we haven't done in a little bit. Hi, Thelma. And so each Friday when I do a live, I have a contest for those that comment on my videos and those that share my videos. And everybody who comments or shares is entered to win a drawing of one of the projects that I make the Friday previously. So this was a long time ago. I think this is a gift card holder. I can't even remember. If you share the video, make sure you let me know in the comments, because sometimes your Facebook is set up where I can't see if you share. It might tell me that I've had 3 shares on the videos, but it might only give me 1 name, and that means 2 people are missing out. So make sure you let me know if you share the video, and that way you're entered for the commenting and the sharing. So anyway, Miss Thelma, this lovely gift card holder is coming your way for commenting the last Friday we were on together, which I know feels like an eternity. And then for sharing, Miss Bernice, this one is coming your way. So thank you, ladies, for always commenting and sharing on the videos. I so appreciate that. One last little bit of housekeeping stuff before we get into Christmas in July this evening. A little bonus Christmas in July from Stampin' Up. We are having a designer series paper sale. We're about halfway through it. And this runs till August the 2nd, and we have 11, no, I'm sorry, it's 9. I don't know why I said 11. I can math. 9 prints of designer series paper are 15% off. So I really love all of these. I think I own at least 1 pack. I'm almost out of In Good Taste, so I might have to pick up one of those. And I'm definitely going to need some more of this Tidings of Christmas paper. I have a couple samples using that tonight. I hope you guys are excited about that beautiful paper as I am. So just remember, this is 15% off just these select papers, and it only runs through August 2nd. And if you need a catalog, let me know. And there's the website and the July host code for anyone who needs it. So I decided I would jump on the Christmas in July bandwagon because a lot of people are talking about that this time of year. And tonight, well, what I've decided to do is feature a different suite or set of products. Apparently I can't English tonight either, as my daughter would say. I'm going to be focusing on a different either suite or set of products for each Friday in July. So that's tonight and the next 2 Fridays. So I won't be giving you a supply list, but we'll be just showcasing a handful of projects related to the items that I chose. And so tonight we are starting with Evergreen Elegance. It is a beautiful red rubber cling stamp set. It's got different sizes of trees, some greenery, the stars, and some nice Christmas verbiage. And this pairs very nicely with the Evergreen border punch. So this is on page 91 of your annual catalog if you have that handy and want to take a look. And there are some samples in the catalog that you can look at. And then I put together a bunch for this evening as well. So I might show you later on how this works if anyone would like to see it in action. It's not really complicated, but that is what we are going to focus on tonight. So I have a little box full of goodies, and if I remember before the end of the video, I will tell you what next week's video is going to be about. So you have lots of options with this stamp set, and I have to tell you, while there are a lot of options, there are not a lot of projects out there with this stamp set and border punch quite yet. Usually I go to Pinterest or some demonstrator websites or Facebook pages for inspiration, and there weren't many projects out there featuring these. So a lot of these are takes on other projects that might have evergreen trees or something in them, but ones that I've kind of turned around and twisted into my own version. So this one was a little trickier than I thought it might be. So this card is the first one, and it focuses solely on the stamps in the stamp set. And you may recognize this technique. This is the torn paper technique. And so what I did was I stamped my Merry Christmas first, and then I took a piece of paper that I tore into a strip, and Bernice, I'm not sure what you mean. That a ground stamp on the bottom left of the box. Oh, wait a minute. I think I gotcha. This one, I believe it is to be put underneath the tree, and I'll actually show you that in a sample in a little bit. Sorry, it just took me a minute to figure that one out. So I hope that's what you meant. All right. So I took a piece of torn paper, and then I covered the Merry Christmas, and I stamped the greenery on top and the bottom, and that's what gave me this look here in the middle. And then I just accented it with some of the other stamps. And here's what I did on the inside, kept it nice and cheery too. So this one is just solely done with stamps, and you can accent your envelopes however you like. I chose the little stars for this one. So there's one project. The next project you may recognize from I think it was a Mystery Monday I did not that long ago. And this was a very simple sketch, and I used the Be Merry from a different stamp set. I think it might have been Banner Year, but don't hold me to that one. That's a returning favorite in the new catalog. And then I did use the Evergreen border punch here on the front. And I really liked how this came out. I thought it was cute. I'm still deciding on cards for my Christmas Stamp-A-Stack in October, and this may be one we feature. I'm not sure. There's another one in the bunch tonight that I like a lot too, so we might see both of them again. But you have lots of ways that you can use either the stamps or the punches or both of them together. This is another card I did where I stamped the greenery at the top and the bottom and then covered it with a panel of designer series paper. And then I used the border punch again here as well in shaded spruce. Went with the Christmassy colors. And then here is the inside. So depending on how creative you are, I really think there are lots of different ways that you can make use of this set. I even think you could use it for a masculine card that's not Christmas related. I didn't get around to doing that, but I was thinking about using perhaps the smaller tree or this one in a manly shade of green with some of our designer series paper, probably from that, it's right here, I can look, the Beauty of the Earth set. It's got that beautiful paper with the old olive and the crushed curry in it, and I think you could turn that into a card for the man in your life if you needed one, even though it's mostly a Christmas set. So, all right, enough of my rambling. So here's another one, and this one I largely focused on the designer series paper. I did coordinating prints, and then again used some solid colored cardstock to go with that border punch, and a little bit of bling for an accent. So these don't have to be over the top. They can be as simple or as dressed up as you want them to be. This one I kept very simple on the inside. And then I used just the Evergreen stamp on the envelope. So hopefully you guys are liking these so far. Now this one I went kind of different. I don't know how well this is going to show on camera, but hopefully you can see I actually embossed this piece of designer series paper. This is one of the pieces from the hand-penned designer series paper. So it's got that beautiful watercolor floral design on one side, and then the other side has a more muted background print like stripes or something similar, scallops. And I really like mint macaron. It's a different color. It is Bernice, this one is very shiny. My Wink of Stella was apparently rebelling because I have not used it in quite a while, and it kind of exploded on me. So this one is a little bit shinier than I intended for it to be, but it really did still come out cool. So I embossed the piece of Designer Series paper using our Evergreen embossing folder, and then I fussy cut the tree and added the sentiment on top. So there is one using that. My other one, Wink of Stella, was more or less behaving herself on this one. So a little less shiny, different orientation. And again, hopefully you can see that embossing that I used there. Just thought it was something different. And I need to remember to bring out Wink of Stella a little more often so she doesn't go crazy on me when it is time to use her. Now, I couldn't decide which of these cards was my favorite. Every time I made one, I thought it was my favorite, and then I made another one, and that became my favorite. So these next two cards are inspired by the crafty yogi, Audra Monk. She had done a handful of cards, and these were two of the ones that I liked the best. So this is using some of that Tidings of Christmas Designer Series paper. This is a 6x6 paper pack. All the other ones in the sale are 12x12s, but the Tidings of Christmas is a 6x6, and I think it's one of the prettiest Christmas papers we've had in quite a while. And so this one was very simple. With the Designer Series paper, I used Evening Evergreen for my color, and it pairs beautifully with our new Evening Evergreen ribbon. And let's see, this is called Chevron Weave Ribbon. And this is really, really nice. I will say I've noticed it does fray kind of quickly on the edges. Bernice, you should have seen me whipping these things out. Been juggling kids and getting kids from camp and a husband out of town for work, so it's been an adventure. I know some of the ladies like to have lighters handy to kind of burn the edges of their ribbon. I would probably set something on fire if I did that. So I do have some fray check I can use on my ribbons when I remember to get it out. But I really like the weave on this ribbon. I think it's beautiful. So anyway, so here is this card. And then I just kept this one simple on the inside. So this was one card that I liked. And then I made this one, and I like this even better. So this is another card using up that Tidings of Christmas paper. And on this one, I used two different shades of cardstock and just a partial piece of the Evergreen border punch. So I really like the difference in the print and the ribbons and the colors. So, and there's the inside. This one is very simple, kind of understated, but I really like how it came out. I used shaded spruce and mint macaron for my colors. This is one of the new in color ribbons with a faux bow, as I call it. And I really like it. It's very simple, but you could make a whole lot of these really quickly because it's just a couple of panels of cardstock and then stamping in two colors of ink and tying the ribbon and the bow. So very nice here. And simple Merry Christmas on the inside. And moving right along, here is the next card. This was another one of my favorites. This one I'm also considering for the Stamp-A-Stack. It does not use the Evergreen border punch, but it does use the stamp set. A couple pieces of the Tidings of Christmas Designer Series paper. This almost looks like the ribbon, but it's actually paper. And then on this one, I used a panel of mint macaron with the new Merry Melody embossing folder. So I really like how that looks. It's not fancy, but I think it's kind of simple and elegant. So, and a little bit of bling for a little sparkle. And your Christmas sentiment on the inside. Hopefully that one doesn't look too washed out. I can't tell. Sometimes I think my laptop doesn't show it very well, but. And next up, I played with our Evergreen border punch, but I did it with some of the designer series paper. So I used one of our new in color packs that has some plaids and some different designs. It's a 6x6 pack of paper that is in the annual catalog. And I broke out some of the new cherry cobbler ribbon with the gold edging. It's very blingy, very shiny. So I didn't want to use a whole lot of it, but I really thought it just jazzed up the card, and then I added some gold gems to kind of accent that as well. And this kind of led me down another path. I have been mostly using this kind of design with the Christmas trees and the Evergreen border punch. And when you use the punch, you end up with some scraps. And I'll show you that in a minute. And I was determined that I was going to use those scraps for something. And so I did. So what I did was, after I punched out my border, I saved the pieces, and you have to glue them together. They do come out in chunks of maybe about 1.5 inches, like between here and here. And I glued them together on top of another piece of designer series paper. And then I popped these strips above it. So this is kind of inset. And I just kind of thought that was clever. I don't know that I would do that for a large number of Christmas cards, but if you're like me and you hate to waste scraps, and you've got really cute scraps, like out of this plaid paper, sometimes it's handy to do something with them. So I just thought that was kind of neat. And this was very simple on the inside. And this was a card, some of these cards, it was kind of funny. I had an idea in my head, and I started working, and then it totally morphed into a different idea. All right, let's see. 2 more cards. Now, this is an idea that definitely morphed into something else, and I put this one together. I finished this one up about 8:20 before I went live. I typically am a traditional Christmas color girl, red and green, sometimes blue depending on the card, but sometimes I like to step outside the box a little bit. And a few years ago, I did a Christmas card with a friend, and she introduced me to this color combination. This is Pool Party and Pear Pizzazz. You could also use Old Olive if you want something a little bit darker, but I just think it's a fun, non-traditional Christmas color. And this card, this was not how I intended it to look at all. I actually was going to use some crazy polka dot paper from our Hostess pack, and then decided I didn't like that. And so I ended up using the Pear Pizzazz as well. And I don't know if you can tell, but I popped up the trees on some mini dimensionals here. I put one basically on every tree along the bottom so that it was anchored on the Christmas card, and I really like how it looks. So, not what I originally intended, but I have to go back and finish the inside on this one. And I added some Pool Party gems. We actually have a package of holiday rhinestones. I thought they were retired, so I was delighted to see those in the annual catalog. So they're rhinestones just in different colors, and very handy for use in a lot of different projects. So, all right, one more non-traditional card, and this one, Bernice features that ground stamp. So I used it, I stamped once in Balmy Blue, and then I stamped it again at the bottom. And this, I used the new star-crossed embossing folder. And I really think this is going to be fun to play with. I kind of wanted to put some paper in that so I could see what it looked like. So you can see it's got this split here, and it's stars on the top and plaid on the bottom. And then I ran the Night of Navy cardstock through the Evergreen border punch and put it underneath my panel. Now this would probably also be pretty if I took Wink of Stella and colored the tree, made it a little shimmery. My neighbor just started his truck. I thought we were having a thunderstorm. I'm glad we're not, because that would mean I would have screaming little boys. So, whew. Sorry, I got distracted there for a minute. in case you're interested to see, I wanted to show you, I didn't finish the inside on this card or one of the other ones, but a neat little trick I like to do sometimes, you can, I could definitely stamp, I probably will stamp a sentiment here, but I'm going to give you a quick peek at how to use the Evergreen border punch because this is just a little bit different than the regular punches that we have. You can see it's larger in size because it's got the wings on the sides. And it does really look the same on the back. But where this is handy, sometimes with punches, you'll turn them this way and punch so you can see what you're doing. With the border punches, it's easier to actually keep it on the table and punch this way. And that's what these pieces here, these little wings, are for. So what I'm going to do is take this piece of navy, and I tend to start kind of in the middle. And there's a little ledge here that you can butt your piece of cardstock right up against, so it gives you a nice resting place. And then I'm going to press down, and this kind of is a two-hander. Hopefully I didn't cause a little earthquake there with my camera. And you can see here how, let's see where my paper went. I'm trying to make sure you guys can see clearly how it punches out. And so obviously I want it to be a little wider than just the 4-tree panel. So what you do is you slide your paper over and you match up the trees that you cut with the tree silhouettes on either side. And you just kind of have to hold it in place. Depending on how wide your piece of paper is, you will have more to, you can press it down to the bottom again. But I like to kind of anchor it on the side as well. And there you can see I've got a little further now. And now I just have to swing to the other side to get the final punch. There we go. I can use that scrap later. Sometimes if it's not quite lined up, you might have some little stringy pieces. They come off very easily. You can use tweezers, or I typically just pull them off with my fingers. And you can't tell that I didn't do it 100% correctly. You can nip them with paper nips. So that is how the punch works. And then here are those pieces that you're left with. And depending on the width of your paper, you probably have bigger pieces. These are kind of small. But very little waste. And as I said, if you want to get creative, you can pair these up. The trickiest part was gluing it, really. So, but anyway, what I'm going to do with these, now that I've showed you how the punch works, is I will stamp my sentiment on here and then run these along the bottom. It's just, I think it's kind of a fun accent, and it's decorating the inside but differently, not just stamping, but without a lot of work too. But I think it's just fun when you open it up. You've got a kind of a little pop of surprise in there. So I just thought that was neat, and it really looks elegant and dresses up your card a little bit. So I am glad you like those blues, Ellen. Like I said, I'm typically a red and green girl, but I like to break out the blues every now and then. So it all depends on the set, and I really think you could do a lot of different colors with the trees. It doesn't have to be that typical evergreen or shaded spruce like we're used to. So that is our peek at the Evergreen Elegance stamp set and border punch. I hope you enjoyed getting to take a quick in-depth look at that. If you have any questions, let me know. I will say there was a couple other ideas I had rattling around in my head, and one of them I was thinking, and I just didn't get to, I was thinking perhaps of using the tree, but then using a window frame, like from the Welcoming Window set, and making it look like you were looking out the window at the tree. That was just something I didn't quite get to. If I do get a sample of that put together, I will definitely share it on my Facebook page so you ladies can see. But I really think there are lots of opportunities for using this. You could even just use the stars if you wanted, and make an all-over design. So different options there. Now Monday, I will be back with a Mystery Monday project. I will post a supply list on Monday morning letting you know what you need. And then here is a peek at the set we will be using, or I won't say using, but we'll be previewing next Friday. We're going to use the Tidings of Christmas. This is on page 88 if you have the annual catalog. And this is a fun one. I have not put anything together yet. I haven't inked up the stamp set or anything, but I have seen some ideas, and I have some ideas kicking around in my head, and there are definitely ways to use this stamp set for things other than Christmas. So stay tuned and come back next Friday at 8:30 if you want to take a peek at that. Bernice, the Evening Elegance, look at me, I'm combining stamp names and ink colors. Evergreen Elegance is the stamp set. It's $22 just for the stamp set. It is $40.50 if you order the bundle, which is the stamp set and the border punch together. So you save 10% if you order the bundle. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, ladies, for tuning in tonight, and I'm glad you liked all the cards. I hope you will come back and join me next Friday as we check out that Tidings of Christmas suite with some more of that Tidings of Christmas paper, I'm sure, as well as some other ideas. And then remember Mystery Monday right back here Monday night at 8:30. So I hope you ladies have a fabulous weekend. I hope you stay cool wherever you are. I think, fingers crossed, I hope we're in for a little bit of a cool down. I don't know about you all, I am ready for fall. Hot weather is not my thing. Give me a nice cool breeze and I'm happy. So I'm channeling that with Christmas in July, right? At least that's what I'm saying. So, all right, ladies, I'm going to let you go for this evening. Thank you so much for taking time out of your Friday night to take a peek at Christmas in July with me. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Happy crafting!